My fiancé canceled our wedding for a richer man, then showed up at my door 2 years later. I never thought my fiancé would leave me. Not after 5 years together. Not after everything we had built. Her name was Sarah. We met during our second year of college. I was studying accounting. She was studying marketing. We started as friends, then best friends, then something more. For years, life felt simple. We didn't have much money. Most dates were cheap. Pizza nights, movie marathons, walks through the park. But I was happy, and I believed she was too. When I graduated, I got an entry-level accounting job. The pay wasn't great, but it was stable. Sarah found work at a marketing agency. Together, we rented a small apartment. Nothing special, but it was ours. Every night, we'd sit on our tiny balcony talking about our future. The house we'd buy. The vacations we'd take. The children we'd have someday. I genuinely believed we would grow old together. Then everything changed. It started when Sarah received a promotion. Her company began sending her to networking events, business dinners, corporate parties. At first, I was proud of her. She worked hard. She deserved success. But slowly, something felt different. She became distant. Always on her phone. Always smiling at messages she wouldn't explain. Whenever I asked about it, she'd become defensive. "You're being paranoid." Maybe she was right. Maybe I was. So I ignored it. Then came the proposal. I spent months saving for the ring. Nothing extravagant, but beautiful. I proposed during a weekend trip by the lake where we had our first date. She cried, said yes, and for a moment, I felt like the luckiest man alive. The next 6 months were wedding planning. Deposits, invitations, guest lists. Everything was falling into place. Then 6 weeks before the wedding, Sarah sat me down in our living room. She looked nervous, scared even. Immediately, I knew something was wrong. Very wrong. She couldn't look me in the eyes. Finally, she spoke. "I don't think we should get married." My stomach dropped. "What?" She started crying. Then came the truth. There was someone else. His name was Daniel. A wealthy entrepreneur she'd met through work. He owned businesses, luxury cars, a mansion. Everything I didn't have. Everything I couldn't give her. At least that's what she believed. I remember staring at her, waiting for her to say she was joking, waiting for her to take it back. She didn't. The wedding was canceled. 5 years ended in a single conversation. Within 2 weeks, she moved out. Within a month, she was posting photos online with Daniel. Private beaches, luxury resorts, designer handbags. The internet version of a perfect life. Every picture felt like a punch to the stomach. The worst part wasn't losing Sarah. It was losing the future I thought we were building. Friends picked sides. Some supported me. Others quietly disappeared. A few even suggested Sarah had made the practical choice. Apparently money made betrayal acceptable. For almost a year, I was miserable. I stopped going out. Stopped dating. Stopped caring. I worked. Came home. Slept. Repeated the process. Then one morning, I looked at myself in the mirror. And I hated what I saw. Not because Sarah left. Because I had allowed her decision to destroy me. That day changed everything. I joined a gym. Started eating better. Focused on work. Studied for professional certifications. Took on extra projects. Slowly things improved. Then they improved again. I earned a promotion. Then another. A former coworker invited me into a small financial consulting startup. It was risky, but I took the chance. The company grew quickly, much quicker than anyone expected. For the first time in years, I felt excited about life. Not because of money, because I had purpose again. 2 years passed. Then one rainy Tuesday night, someone knocked on my front door. I wasn't expecting visitors. I opened the door and froze. It was Sarah, standing there in the rain. At first, I barely recognized her. Gone were the designer clothes. Gone was the confident smile. Gone was the glamorous social media version of herself. She looked exhausted, older, sad. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then she quietly asked, "Can we talk?" Every part of me wanted to say no. Instead, I stepped aside. She sat at my kitchen table, the same way she had years ago. For several minutes, she stared at her hands. Then she started talking. And once she started, she couldn't stop. Daniel wasn't the man she thought he was. The money was real. But everything else was a disaster. He cheated constantly, lied constantly, manipulated people, used money to control everyone around him, including her. Whenever she questioned him, he'd buy her something expensive. Whenever she complained, he'd disappear for days. Eventually, she discovered he had been seeing multiple women the entire relationship. When she confronted him, he didn't even deny it. He simply told her, "If you don't like it, leave." So she did. But by then, she had nowhere to go. Most of her friends had drifted away. Her relationship with family was damaged. Her life had fallen apart. Then she looked at me and quietly said, "I made the biggest mistake of my life." I remained silent. Because honestly, there wasn't much left to say. She continued, "I thought money would make me happy." Then her eyes wandered around my home. A nice home. A comfortable home. A life I had built without her. For the first time, I think she realized what she had traded away. Finally, she asked the question, the one I knew was coming. "Do you think we could try again?" The room became completely silent. Years earlier, I would have said yes. Without hesitation. Without thinking. But those years had changed me. I thought about the canceled wedding. The humiliation. The nights I couldn't sleep. The months spent rebuilding myself. And I realized something. I wasn't in love with Sarah anymore. I was in love with the memory of who I thought she was. Those weren't the same thing. I looked her in the eyes. Then answered honestly, "No." Tears immediately filled her eyes. But I wasn't trying to hurt her. I was simply telling the truth. Then I said something she'd probably never forget. "You didn't leave because I wasn't enough." She looked confused. I continued, "You left because you thought you could do better." The room went silent. Because deep down, she knew it was true. A few minutes later, she stood up, walked toward the front door, then stopped. Before leaving, she turned around and asked one final question. "Do you hate me?" I thought about it carefully, then shook my head. No. And I meant it. I didn't hate her. Hating her would mean she still had power over me. She didn't. Not anymore. Sarah nodded, whispered goodbye, and walked away into the rain. That was the last time I ever saw her. A year later, I met someone named Emma. She wasn't impressed by money. She wasn't chasing a lifestyle. She cared about honesty, loyalty, trust, the things that actually matter. 2 years later, we got married. And standing at the altar, watching her walk toward me, I realized something important. Sometimes the worst day of your life is only the beginning of something better. If Sarah hadn't left me, I never would have become the person I am today. and I never would have found the person who was truly meant for me. The end.